this. So, you know, the ideal amount of time before playing, eating and playing is probably somewhere between 3 and 4 hours. So a little more than coffee. You know, something that has, for the older girls, you know, this will make a little bit more sense. That has a good amount of carbohydrates, some proteins, you know, not too much fiber because you don't want it to have to be digested now while you're out there scoring goals or saving goals, what you're doing. But you have to have that. You know, eating is really important. I told my son this the other day. I said, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Why? It gives you energy and it gets your brain going, it gets your metabolism going, right? So it's really important. It's really important to have breakfast. Protein is brain food. That gets your brain starting to go. And I know I'm trying to tell you really smart. So just a little more protein would be good. Carbohydrates because you're going to use that as fuel. So I would have a peanut butter and honey sandwich with a banana. And depending on if our game was in the early afternoon or evening, it could be a little bit of chicken, maybe some pasta if you like. But I always went with the peanut butter and honey and banana. That was my go-to. And lots of water for me. And then I think the routine, just a second, we'll get to one more question. For some reason, I wouldn't call it superstitious, but we would get our uniform at the hotel. And then we would get onto the bus, and then we drive to the stadium, and we go to the locker room. Well, a lot of my teammates, I'd say the majority of them, put on their uniform and their warm-up stuff at the hotel, and then we rode to the stadium, and they ordered me to be dressed. For me, I kind of like to use the stadium and the door to the locker room as the threshold I cross to get ready for the game. So I wouldn't put on my socks or my shorts or my warm-up shirt. I wear my sweats, but I wouldn't put that on until I got to the locker room. That was kind of, for me, the moment when I kind of transformed myself into the soccer player that I wanted to be. Kind of, you see my face? I got a little game face on there. You know? Kind of like when I walk into the classroom, I kind of put on my big brain, you know, the one that I use for when I need to be as smart as I can be and thoughtful and creative as I can be. So I think that was a part of my routine. I think having something is important. I think 5 minutes of imagery makes a huge difference. If you close your eyes right now, everybody's going to try this, even the adults. Close your eyes. See yourself in the most either perfect scenario, the thing that you want to achieve on the soccer field, in the pool, in the classroom, standing before this group right here. I'll give you 1 minute to see it going well. Ready? Go. What would you do? What would you be saying? Okay, good. So if you use that technique over time, what's going to end up happening is you're going to see yourself doing all these things that you want to happen. If you don't spend any time doing any kind of imagery, you don't know how you're going to fulfill that situation because you've never seen yourself do it. So I would recommend 5 minutes at night, maybe before you go to bed, 5 minutes before you go out to the pool, seeing yourself doing all the things that you've been working on and training on and the things that you want to see happen.